More mind-blowing details surrounding the foreign African national who somehow became the superintendent of the largest school district in Iowa, making nearly $300,000 a year. 52-year-old Ian Roberts was taken into custody by the Justice Department yesterday on firearms charges, and this is after his arrest by ICE agents last week revealed he was living and working in the U.S. illegally. Joining us right now to discuss is Defending Education's Director of Outreach, Erica Sanzi. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan.
You know, so much information has now come out. I feel like there's something new every single day on this case. The New York Post now reporting that Roberts was a, quote, pathological liar who never attended MIT, who was the subject of a couple of sex discrimination lawsuits. I know you guys have also done some digging as well. What have you learned?
This is going to be a movie, I think, because there is so much drama unfolding. The MIT thing, for example, was new. I knew that he had a ton of claims about educational institutions, but what I wasn't aware of was that he also was making claims that he was going to be attending, I believe, MIT and I think also maybe Harvard Graduate School of Education. So just a pathological liar. But I mean, major problems here. He lied on his I-9 form about being a citizen. He is registered to vote in Maryland, where he doesn't live, and also he's here illegally. And
the same thing happened in Maryland, according to reports. Under penalty of perjury, he also checked off that he was a U.S. citizen in order to register to vote in the state of Maryland as well, according to reports that we're seeing as well. So same thing.
Also, when he left his job as an administrator in, I think Maryland, no, in Pennsylvania, I'm sorry. See, it's confusing because he's been everywhere.
Right.
In Pennsylvania, he left over $400,000 in legal settlements in his wake because of behaviors that led to lawsuits. And so the district is on the hook for all this money. And then he just takes off to Des Moines, where again, like, I'm sorry, but like people were just like obsessively looking to check off identity boxes. And so he fits all these boxes in this messed up sort of DEI / affirmative action hiring. So Iowa is on the hook now too, because this is exposed, and we reported in February, by the way, that Iowa has a state law that requires school districts to have affirmative action hiring plans in place, which are against the law. So not only was that likely a part of his hiring, but then that's what he oversaw as the superintendent. He was also very much into this idea of race-based hiring. I believe they had a promise in their strategic plan written out in writing that they would be at 40% people of color for teachers and leaders by 2030.
But you just pointed out something I did not know. So he went to Pennsylvania and was the superintendent of schools for a district there, and then he went to Iowa. But even if you didn't check to see what his work status was, or wouldn't you have called his previous, where he worked before, and would that have come out, which you just mentioned about these lawsuits that he had faced there?
That's a good question. So one huge problem in K-12 are these personnel records are sealed. It's also the way that we see teachers who have been let go for sexual misconduct with students end up jumping to other districts, because unless there's an arrest, which is a public record,
I see,
it's sealed. So my sense is that, again, I don't think that these school boards did their due diligence. Reporters are fine right now, just like regular people are digging and finding a ton of stuff. But I also will say that on the personnel front, things are hidden because records are sealed. And that is a safeguarding problem when you're working with students and families.
One thing you did mention, too, I want to point out as well, is that the DOJ is investigating Des Moines public schools regarding race-based employment practices, correct?
Correct. Yes, and I think what they're going to find is that what the district is doing is illegal. You cannot have racial quotas for hiring in a public school district. But what they're also going to find is there's a state law on the books that is causing all these districts to implement these plans. So I actually think the unconstitutionality starts at the state level and then moves its way into the district. So I don't see how they wouldn't have to scrap the state law, basically, because otherwise a district says we're just following state law.
I want to talk. Exactly. No, I agree. And there's a lot more to come on this story. I feel like so much more information is coming out every single day, Erica, on this. I want to ask you very quickly, though, before I let you go, about the story that's breaking in Seattle public schools. There is a district there, and this is about transgender supplies for community health lockers. They are asking for things like chest binders, trans tape. What's going on here?
So there is a nearby children's hospital that has a gender clinic, and they are providing supplies to stock these like community lockers at the school so that a student can access, again, all of these. It gives new meaning to school supplies. It's literally like this trans tape is what it's called. That's a copyrighted term. Nipple guards, tucking underwear, chest binders, in the school, given out to students for free so that they can, have everything that they need to identify the way they want to identify at school, right? It's almost like, oh, they don't have the supplies. Maybe their parents won't give them to them. Maybe their parents don't know. And so we're going to provide this. And by the way, this we got from public records requests where we looked at emails between the clinic, the school, to figure out like, what is this relationship? I will say, this is obviously egregious, but it's not taxpayer funded based on what I can tell. It looks like it's coming from a grant. But again, obviously wildly inappropriate, and one has to wonder really seriously what are the priorities in some of these places.
And the source of that grant as well. All right, Defending Education's Director of Outreach, Erica Sanzi, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, Jan.